Capri Sun is everywhere. Lunchboxes, soccer games, camp coolers. That silver pouch and bendy straw, instantly recognizable. It's quick, fruity, and fun to drink. But most people don't think about what it takes to make it. It started in Germany in 1969 and hit US shelves in the 80s. Now, over 6 billion pouches are made every year, with 1.2 billion sold just in the US. That's enough juice to fill 150 Olympic-sized swimming pools every year. The juice comes from real fruit, apples, oranges, grapes, grown on farms around the world. It's turned into concentrate, mixed with water, flavored, and checked to make sure every pouch tastes the same. Machines then cut, fill, and seal the pouches, more than 1,000 every minute. Workers keep it all moving. It's a huge, fast system. And today, we're going inside to see how it all works. In 1969, while the world was focused on landing on the moon, a German company called Wild made a different kind of breakthrough, putting juice in a shiny, squeezable pouch. That's how Capri Sun was born. It may not have had NASA-level tech, but it gave kids, and some adults, a cool way to stay hydrated. No more heavy glass bottles or bulky cans, just a lightweight, portable pouch that felt futuristic. The name came from the Italian island of Capri, because apparently nothing says refreshing like Mediterranean vibes. But let's be real, most of us sipping it at recess weren't dreaming of Italy's beaches. We were just trading flavors with friends. In the 80s and 90s, Capri Sun became a must-have in lunchboxes, almost like a status symbol. If you had one, you were basically a VIP at the cafeteria. It wasn't just a drink, it was something kids traded snacks for. The ads made it even cooler, showing kids turning into liquid silver and zooming across the screen like juice-powered superheroes. We started to think Capri Sun gave us superpowers, or at least made us look cooler. But in reality, the hardest part was figuring out how to stab the pouch without making a mess. It was tricky. Poke too hard, and you'd rip the back, poke too soft, and the straw would bend. Over the years, Capri Sun has changed. New flavors, less sugar, and even a switch to paper straws, which, let's be honest, can be a challenge. The packaging got a makeover, the ingredients were updated, and somehow it's still a favorite for kids and nostalgic adults. Even with all the changes, Capri Sun still has that squeeze every last drop appeal. Because let's be real, no matter how old we get, it's still fun to finish that pouch and make it flat as a pancake. Enough history, let's head into the factory and see how it's made. Every Capri Sun starts with carefully chosen ingredients from trusted suppliers around the world. The main ingredients include fruit juice concentrate, purified water, natural flavors, and sometimes added vitamins or electrolytes, depending on the type. Fruit is the key to Capri Sun's refreshing taste, with apple, grape, orange, and tropical blends being the most common. Since fruit crops can change due to weather, Capri Sun works with suppliers in different regions to keep the taste the same all year. This helps them get a steady supply, even if one region has a bad harvest. To make sure the taste stays the same, flavor experts regularly test and tweak the juice to keep that signature Capri Sun flavor. The fruit juice concentrates are made by removing water from freshly picked fruit, which makes the juice easier to store and transport. This process reduces the juice's volume by 4 to 6 times, making shipping more efficient. First, the fruit is pressed to get the juice, then filtered to remove pulp, seeds, and skins. The juice is heated in a vacuum to remove extra water while keeping its natural flavor and nutrients. Once concentrated, the juice is frozen or stored in cold tanks until it's ready for production. To ensure freshness, each batch is tested for sugar content, acidity, and aroma to make sure it meets Capri Sun's quality standards before blending. Water, which makes up most of Capri Sun, goes through a thorough cleaning process before being used in production. The water is filtered in several stages, including sediment filtration, activated carbon filtration, reverse osmosis, and UV sterilization. These steps remove particles, smells, and bacteria, making sure the water tastes clean and doesn't affect the fruit flavors. Since Capri Sun has no artificial preservatives, the water's purity is just as important as the juice. Regular testing is also done to make sure the water stays free from contaminants, keeping the drink safe and high quality. Finally, natural flavors and other ingredients are carefully chosen to improve each drink. These flavors come from real fruits and are blended to create the classic Capri Sun taste. Some versions, like Capri Sun Sport or Capri Sun Roarin' Waters, may add electrolytes or adjust sweetness to appeal to different people. Before any ingredients are used, they go through thorough testing for taste, safety, and quality. Only after passing these tests do they move to the next step, mixing and pasteurizing. This ensures that every Capri Sun pouch gives the same refreshing, fruity experience every time. Once the fruit juice concentrates, purified water, and natural flavors arrive at the factory, they are carefully mixed in large stainless steel tanks. These tanks, which can hold thousands of liters, have fast-moving blades that make sure the ingredients are evenly blended. Each batch follows a specific formula, with computers keeping track of the exact amounts of juice, concentrate, water, and flavors. This ensures that every Capri Sun pouch tastes the same, whether it's made in Germany, the US, or anywhere else. Automated sensors also check the density, color, and texture while mixing to make sure each batch is consistent. To keep the taste fresh and consistent, pH levels and sweetness are checked at this stage. Since fruit harvest can vary in sugar content, small adjustments are sometimes made to keep the flavor balanced. Experts regularly test the sweetness, acidity, and aroma. If a batch isn't quite right, it's adjusted with small amounts of natural fruit acids or flavors until it matches the Capri Sun standard. This step is important to make sure the drink stays stable over time, without needing artificial preservatives. Samples from each batch are also kept for further checks, ensuring quality even after the drinks are sent out. Once mixed, the juice goes through flash pasteurization, a process that heats it to 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 71 to 82 degrees Celsius, for 15-30 seconds. Unlike regular pasteurization, which heats liquids for longer, flash pasteurization quickly kills bacteria and microbes while keeping the fruit's natural taste. The juice is quickly cooled after heating to prevent a cooked flavor. This process is important for food safety, as Capri Sun doesn't use artificial preservatives, but relies on pasteurization and airtight packaging to stay fresh. Automated systems carefully control the process, making sure the right time and temperature are used to keep the flavor and nutrients intact. After pasteurization, the juice is quickly moved to sterile storage tanks, where it stays in a controlled environment until it's ready for packaging. These tanks are sealed to keep air out, which could change the juice's flavor or color. Since Capri Sun needs to last a long time without refrigeration, every step is taken to limit oxygen exposure, keeping the drink fresh. To help maintain quality, nitrogen is sometimes added to replace oxygen in the tanks, preventing oxidation and keeping the fruit flavors bright. While the juice is being made, another part of the factory focuses on creating Capri Sun's silver pouches. Unlike plastic bottles or juice boxes, Capri Sun pouches are made from a special material with layers of plastic, aluminum foil, and polyester. This design helps in several ways. It keeps the drink light, protects the juice from light and air, which can affect flavor, and makes the pouch easy to store and carry. The aluminum layer blocks oxygen and UV rays, helping the juice stay fresh for months without preservatives. The pouches are also built to handle temperature changes, keeping the taste and texture stable during transport and storage. The pouches are made from large rolls of laminated sheets, which are cut and shaped into individual pouches quickly. Machines fold and seal the edges, forming the familiar pouch shape. Each pouch is carefully measured to hold the right amount of juice, ensuring consistency. These machines can produce hundreds of pouches per minute, keeping up with the fast filling process. To improve efficiency, laser sensors check the alignment and sealing of each pouch, making automatic adjustments if needed. Any pouches that are misaligned or not sealed properly are immediately removed to maintain quality. Before being filled with juice, the pouches go through a strict cleaning process. They are treated with steam, UV light, and clean air to remove any germs. Since Capri Sun doesn't use artificial preservatives, this cleaning step is necessary to keep the drink safe for a long time. To make sure they're properly cleaned, random samples are tested for germs before the filling begins. Any pouches that don't meet the standards are removed and recycled to avoid contamination. To make sure the pouches are strong, some are tested by squeezing, dropping, and pressurizing them to check for weak spots. If a batch doesn't pass, production stops until the problem is fixed. Some pouches are also tested by overfilling them to see how well they hold up. This testing makes sure every Capri Sun pouch can handle shipping, handling, and regular use without leaking or breaking. Only after passing these tests do the pouches move on to be filled with juice. Once the pouches are sterilized and ready, they move down the line to the filling stations. The pre-mixed juice is pumped into each pouch using nozzles that make sure each one gets the right amount. Since the juice is carefully processed, this happens in a sealed space to avoid contamination. The filling area has clean, filtered air to keep out dust or germs. The equipment is checked regularly to make sure it works quickly and accurately. Filling happens quickly. Some factories can make tens of thousands of pouches every hour. Sensors check the juice level in each pouch, and if one is filled too little or too much, it's automatically removed and fixed. This careful control makes sure each Capri Sun pouch meets the right size and quality. Temperature sensors also keep track of the juice to make sure it stays at the best temperature for flavor and nutrients. If anything goes wrong, production stops for a quick check before continuing. After filling, each pouch is sealed shut with special equipment that uses the right amount of heat and pressure. This creates a tight, leak-proof seal to keep the juice fresh. The seal needs to be strong to avoid spills, but flexible enough for people to squeeze out every last drop. To make sure the seals are strong, some pouches are tested with vacuum and pressure to check how they'll hold up during shipping and storage. If any weak seals are found, adjustments are made right away to avoid problems. Once sealed, the pouches are cooled quickly to keep the juice fresh and protect the packaging. At this point, the pouches are almost done, with just a few more steps before they're ready for stores. As a final check, each batch is inspected to make sure the packaging is strong, the pouches look good, and everything is in good condition before being sent out. After the pouches are filled and sealed, they move down the conveyor belt to the straw attachment station. Capri Sun's unique straws are designed to be sharp enough to pierce the pouch but are still safe for kids. These straws are made from lightweight plastic, or in newer versions, eco-friendly paper. Each straw is wrapped in a protective film to keep it clean until it's open. To be more sustainable, Capri Sun is working on straws made from biodegradable and recyclable materials to reduce plastic waste while keeping things convenient. The straw attachment process is fully automated, with robotic arms carefully placing the straw on each pouch. A small, safe adhesive holds the straw in place without making it hard to peel off. The straws are positioned so that it's easy for users to find where to insert them. A sensor system checks for misaligned or missing straws, removing any defective pouches from the line. This step is important because a misplaced straw could make the pouch hard to open. The adhesive is also tested to make sure the straw stays on during transport, but is still easy for customers to remove. After the straws are attached, the pouches go through a final quality check. Each batch is tested for leaks, correct filling, and proper straw placement. Factory workers randomly pick pouches from each batch and test them by squeezing, shaking, and dropping them to make sure they can handle being shipped and used without breaking. If a pouch fails, it is thrown out, and the cause is looked into to prevent more problems. Some pouches are also tested under pressure to make sure they won't break when packed in large shipments. In addition to physical checks, the juice is also tested to make sure it meets Capri Sun's flavor standards. Trained testers taste random pouches to check if the drink has the right balance of sweetness, acidity, and fruitiness. If something is off, the batch is held back and fixed before it's sent out. These steps make sure only the best tasting, properly sealed Capri Sun pouches make it to stores. Before leaving the factory, final checks are done to ensure the packaging looks good, the barcode works, and the expiration date is correct. After all quality checks are done, the finished pouches are ready to be packaged. Capri Sun is usually sold in packs of 10 pouches, but some places offer larger packs or variety sets. The packaging helps keep the pouches organized, protects them during shipping, and shows off the brand to attract customers. Each box is made to be easy to stack and store in warehouses or on store shelves. Some special packs may also have limited edition flavors or fun designs to appeal to different buyers. The packaging process is fully automated, with robots stacking the pouches in the right position before placing them into pre-made cardboard boxes. These boxes are made from lightweight, durable recycled materials, which helps the environment while keeping the product safe. The boxes are printed with bright colors, product info, and marketing designs before being folded and sealed. High-quality printers add branding details like nutrition facts, logos, and eco-friendly messages to show Capri Sun's commitment to sustainable packaging. Each finished multi-pack is weighed to make sure it has the right number of pouches. Precision scales are used, and any packs that are too light or heavy are removed. The boxes are labeled with expiration dates, batch codes, and barcodes for easy tracking and inventory management. This helps stores keep track of stock and quickly find products in case of a recall. Scanning systems check that each barcode is printed correctly and can be read easily, reducing errors and ensuring smooth distribution. Once the multi-packs are boxed, they are packed into larger shipping cartons and placed on pallets for transport. The pallets are wrapped in plastic to keep them stable during shipping. They are then moved to the factory's distribution center, where they are sorted by destination and prepared for delivery. Some pallets are sent directly to stores, while others are kept in temperature-controlled warehouses to keep the product fresh. Now, Capri Sun is ready to be sent to supermarkets, vending machines, and customers all over the world, making sure every pouch arrives in great condition. Capri Sun's lasting popularity comes from its great taste, easy packaging, and focus on quality. Since it first came out, the brand has been a favorite for both kids and parents, offering a refreshing and fun way to drink fruit juice without artificial preservatives or high fructose corn syrup. By choosing quality ingredients and using advanced production methods, Capri Sun makes sure every pouch tastes great. The brand's commitment to natural flavors and top-quality ingredients has earned it trust and loyalty from consumers over the years. A big reason for Capri Sun's success is its iconic pouch design. Unlike regular juice boxes or plastic bottles, Capri Sun's lightweight and flexible packaging is easy to carry, store, and drink from anywhere. Over 2 billion pounds of bacon are eaten in the US every year. That's nearly 6 million pounds a day. But behind that smoky, crispy obsession is a tradition that's older than America itself. Why do so many people love bacon, and what happens before it ends up on your plate? Let's take a closer look. Bacon has been making mornings better for centuries, and people have been hooked on it just as long. The love for crispy, salty pork strips goes way back to ancient China, around 1500 BC, when folks started curing pork belly with salt. It was a game changer because, really, who wouldn't want meat that lasts longer and tastes amazing? The Romans later jumped on the trend with their own version, called pedazo, which sounds fancy, but was basically an early bacon snack. They ate it on the go, kind of like ancient fast food, just without the drive-thru. And considering this was a time when people watched gladiators battle for fun, you know bacon had to be worth it. By the Middle Ages, bacon was so popular in England that bringing home the bacon wasn't just a saying, it was real life. Some towns even had contests where men could win a whole side of bacon if they proved they hadn't argued with their wives for a year. Imagine staying calm for 12 months just for some pork. That's commitment. And if you think people take bacon seriously today, back then it was practically a status symbol. Families would hang it in their homes to show they could afford it. Kind of like the medieval version of showing off on social media. Rich or poor, everyone was cooking it up, proving that when it comes to crispy, salty goodness, nobody cares about class differences. These days, bacon isn't just for breakfast, it's everywhere. It's in burgers, donuts, and even toothpaste. Yes, that's real. And no, I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to smell like a diner all day. There's bacon-scented soap, bacon-flavored vodka, and even bacon-themed weddings for the truly obsessed. If any food shows true dedication, it's this one. People have wrapped Thanksgiving turkeys in it, dipped it in chocolate, and even used it to make art, because who needs paint when you have pork fat? Whether you like it crispy, chewy, or just as an air freshener for your car, one thing's for sure. Bacon isn't just food, it's a lifestyle. And honestly, what a tasty life it is. But enough history, let's take a look inside the factory. Bacon's journey starts long before it hits the factory, on pig farms, where certain breeds are raised for pork. The most common ones are Yorkshire, Duroc, and Landrace, because they grow the right mix of meat and fat for bacon. Farmers keep a close eye on the pig's genetics to make sure they produce top-quality pork bellies, since the fat-to-meat ratio is key to bacon's taste and texture. The breeding process is carefully managed so the pigs stay healthy and grow at the right pace to meet demand. What pigs eat plays a big role in how their meat turns out. Most farms feed them a balanced mix of corn, soybeans, and added vitamins to keep their growth steady and their fat marbling just right. That marbling is what gives bacon its perfect balance of crispy and chewy. Some farms tweak the diet by adding barley or other grains to make the pork even more flavorful, while others focus on organic, free-range methods for higher-end bacon. Some farmers even say their feeding choices give bacon a richer, more unique taste. Pigs are usually raised for about 5 to 6 months until they reach 250 to 280 pounds. Then they're sent to processing facilities. Farmers and vets keep a close eye on their health to make sure they stay disease-free. Stress is also a big concern because it can make the meat tough or pale, so farms try to keep the pigs as comfortable as possible, avoiding sudden changes or rough handling. When pigs reach the right weight, they're taken to USDA-approved processing plants in special trucks designed to keep them as calm as possible. Stress during transport can affect the meat, making it pale and mushy. So careful planning is key. To avoid overcrowding or overheating, farms make sure the pigs have enough space and a smooth ride. Once they arrive, they rest in holding pens for a bit to recover from the trip and stay relaxed. Slaughtering is done quickly and humanely using one of 3 methods: electric stunning, CO2 gas, or a captive bolt. These methods make sure the pig is unconscious right away, so it doesn't feel pain. Large factories often use CO2 since it keeps stress levels low, which helps with meat quality. After stunning, the pigs are bled by cutting the major neck veins. This step is important to keep the meat fresh and prevent spoilage. Next, the carcasses go into a hot water bath, 140–150 degrees Fahrenheit, to loosen the hair. Machines then scrape most of it off, followed by a final singeing and cleaning to leave the skin completely smooth. After cleaning, the carcasses go through evisceration, where the internal organs are removed and checked for any signs of disease. USDA inspectors look closely to make sure everything meets health and safety standards, rejecting any that don't. The carcasses are then chilled in large refrigerators set below 40 degrees Fahrenheit to firm up the meat for easier cutting. This step is also important for slowing bacteria growth and keeping the meat fresh before it moves on to processing. After chilling, the carcasses go to the butchering area, where skilled meat cutters break them down into main sections, like the loin, shoulder, and ham. Bacon comes from the pork belly, a thick, fatty cut found on the underside of the pig. The belly is valued for its fat and marbling, which give bacon its perfect balance of crispy and chewy when cooked. The pork belly is trimmed to the right shape, with any extra skin removed. How much fat stays on depends on the brand, Some keep more for extra flavor, while others trim it for a leaner cut. The belly is also checked to make sure it has an even thickness and fat distribution, since uneven cuts could mess up the curing and smoking process. After trimming, the bellies are stacked and prepped for curing, the step that gives bacon its signature taste. Some premium brands use special pork from heritage breeds or pigs with unique diets to create richer flavors. Curing is what turns plain pork into bacon, preserving it while adding the delicious taste we all love. Curing is a key step that gives bacon its flavor, keeps it fresh, and stops bacteria from growing. Without it, bacon would just be salty pork that spoils faster and lacks its distinct taste. The process uses a mix of salt, sugar, and curing agents, usually sodium nitrite, which gives bacon its pink color and helps prevent harmful bacteria. Without nitrites, bacon would go bad quickly and turn gray instead of its well-known reddish-pink hue. There are two main ways to cure bacon: wet curing and dry curing. Wet curing, also called injection curing, is the most common for large-scale production. It involves injecting the pork belly with a liquid mix of water, salt, sugar, nitrites, and sometimes extra flavors like maple syrup or black pepper. This method is fast, taking only a few hours or days, making it ideal for mass production. Dry curing, on the other hand, is a slower, more traditional method where a thick mix of salt, sugar, and curing agents is rubbed directly onto the meat. This process takes 5 to 14 days and results in a deeper, richer flavor. Because it's more time-consuming, dry-cured bacon is often more expensive and valued for its high-quality taste and texture. After curing, the pork bellies rest so they can fully absorb the flavors. The salt and sugar pull out moisture, which helps preserve the meat and makes the taste richer. Some high-end bacon makers use natural ingredients or special salts like sea salt or Himalayan pink salt to create unique flavors. Once curing is done, the meat moves on to smoking, the step that gives bacon its signature smoky smell and deep, savory taste. After curing, the pork bellies are smoked to give them their smoky smell, rich flavor, and golden brown color. While curing preserves the meat, smoking adds extra depth and makes bacon taste even better. In the past, smoking helped meat last longer before refrigeration, but today, it's mostly done for flavor. It also removes excess moisture, making the bacon firmer so it crisps up nicely when cooked. Without smoking, bacon would be much softer and less flavorful. Before smoking, the pork bellies are rinsed to remove excess salt from curing. They are then placed on racks or conveyor belts inside industrial smokehouses, where temperatures stay between 120 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This slow process lets the smoke soak into the meat without overcooking it. Smoking times vary. Some bacon smokes for a few hours, while others go for up to 24 hours for a stronger, richer flavor. The longer the smoking, the deeper and more intense the taste. The type of wood used for smoking affects bacon's flavor. Hickory is the most popular, giving it a bold, slightly sweet smokiness. Applewood and cherrywood create a milder, fruitier taste, while mesquite adds a strong, earthy smokiness. Some mass-produced bacon skips real wood smoking and uses liquid smoke, a fast and cheap alternative that lacks the same depth of flavor. Once the pork bellies absorb the smoky taste, they are quickly chilled to about 28 degrees Fahrenheit to firm up before slicing. After smoking, the bacon is quickly chilled to firm up the fat and make slicing easier. The pork bellies are placed in a cooling chamber just above freezing, 28 to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, for several hours. This step is important because warm bacon is harder to slice evenly, and soft fat can smear. High-speed industrial slicers cut thousands of slices per minute, but for them to work properly, the bacon needs to have a consistent texture and temperature. Without proper chilling, the slices could turn out uneven, affecting the look and quality of the final product. Once the bacon is properly chilled, it moves to the slicing stage, where it's cut into different thicknesses based on demand. Standard cut is the thin, quick cooking type, found in most grocery stores. Thick cut is about 50% thicker, giving it a meatier texture. Center cut comes from the leanest part of the belly, with less fat. Slab bacon is left uncut, allowing restaurants and butchers to slice it as needed. Each type works best for different cooking styles, whether you want crispy breakfast strips or bacon for slow-cooked dishes. High-speed rotary blades cut the bacon into precise slices. Some brands arrange them in neat, overlapping rows, while others stack them for easy separation. Any pieces that don't look perfect, like irregular cuts or broken slices, are turned into bacon bits for salads, soups, and fast food. After slicing, the bacon is weighed and portioned to ensure each package is consistent before moving to the final packaging stage. Bacon packaging is designed to keep it fresh, make it last longer, and let shoppers see what they're buying. The most common method is vacuum sealing, which removes oxygen to slow bacteria growth and keep the flavor intact. This airtight seal also prevents spoilage and stops the fat from going bad over time, since vacuum-sealed bacon stays fresh longer. It's the go-to choice for both producers and customers. Some high-end bacon brands use modified atmosphere packaging, MAP, which doesn't just remove oxygen, but replaces it with carbon dioxide and nitrogen. This slows down bacteria growth and keeps the bacon fresh for a longer time. It's especially useful for brands that skip artificial preservatives, since it helps maintain quality without extra chemicals. Some bacon also comes in resealable packaging, making it easier to store leftovers without needing extra bags or containers. Every bacon package must have a USDA-approved label that gives important details about the product. It shows how the bacon was cured, smoked, and what ingredients were used. Some brands highlight no nitrates or nitrites added to appeal to people looking for a more natural option. Once packaged, the bacon is stored in cold warehouses below 40 degrees Fahrenheit until it's ready to be shipped. From there, it goes to grocery stores, restaurants, and finally into customers' kitchens. Sugar has been part of our lives for centuries. On breakfast tables, in soda cans, baked into cakes, and sprinkled into just about everything. Today, the world goes through more than 180 million tons of sugar every year, making it one of the most used ingredients on the planet. Most of it comes from just two plants, sugarcane and sugar beets. These crops grow in massive fields across places like Brazil, India, China, and the US. Once harvested, machines crush them to squeeze out a thick juice. That juice is boiled, cleaned, and spun until it forms golden crystals, which are then dried into the white sugar we all know. To keep up with demand, it takes hundreds of factories, thousands of workers, and giant machines running all day long. Some factories crush up to 12,000 tons of cane in a single day, turning plants into sugar faster than you'd believe. It's one of the busiest food industries in the world, and as you're about to see, there's a lot more behind that bag of sugar than meets the eye. Sugar starts with the raw materials, sugarcane and sugar beet. These two plants are the main sources of sucrose, the sugar that is turned into the crystals we use every day. Sugarcane grows best in warm, sunny areas with lots of water, making places like Brazil, India, and Thailand perfect for it. Once the plants reach about 10 to 15 feet tall, they're ready to be harvested. Farmers can cut the cane by hand using machetes or use machines, which is quicker and cheaper. Sugar beets grow better in cooler climates and are mostly found in places like parts of Europe, the US, and Russia. They are usually harvested in the late fall using large machines that pull the roots from the ground. Once collected, the beets are cleaned well to remove dirt and debris, since any impurities can affect the final sugar. Beets are a good choice in areas where sugarcane doesn't grow and provide a reliable alternative for making sugar. Sugarcane and sugar beets are used to make sugar because they hold a lot of natural sugar inside them. This sugar can be taken out, cleaned, and turned into crystals. Both plants are good at storing energy as sugar, which makes them great for large-scale use. Sugarcane grows better in warm areas and gives more sugar per acre, while sugar beets are important in cooler places. To get the most sugar, it's important to harvest these crops at the right time and move them quickly to the factories. After sugarcane and sugar beets are picked, they need to be taken to the mills quickly to keep their sugar levels high and stop them from going bad. Sugarcane, in particular, goes bad fast, so any delays can mean less sugar is collected. The cane is usually moved by trucks or trains to mills that are close by. Once it gets there, it's unloaded and sent straight to be crushed so the juice can be taken out. Since sugarcane is tough and full of fibers, it's important to process it fast to keep the sugar fresh and get the most out of it. After sugar beets are harvested, they're taken to factories where the sugar is removed. They're usually moved in big trucks, and since beets are tougher than sugarcane, they can handle a bit more travel time. Still, it's important to move them quickly, usually within 48 hours, so they don't lose their sugar. Once they arrive at the factory, the beets are unloaded, washed, and sliced to get them ready for the next step. Moving sugarcane and sugar beets quickly is super important for making good sugar. If there are delays, the plants can lose some of their sugar, which lowers the amount and quality of the final product. Since both crops take up a lot of space, big trucks and lots of planning are needed to move them smoothly. Good transport helps keep the crops fresh, reduces waste, and makes sure the factories get the best raw materials for sugar making. The next step is getting the sugar out of the plant. For sugarcane, it starts with washing the stalks to get rid of dirt and other stuff. Then, the cane goes through big machines with rollers that crush it and squeeze out the juice. This juice has sugar, water, and a few other things from the plant. To make it cleaner, the juice is filtered to take out bigger bits and fibers. After that, it's moved to tanks, where the heavier stuff settles to the bottom, leaving cleaner juice on top. For sugar beets, the roots are cleaned really well to get rid of dirt and anything that might mess up the sugar. After cleaning, the beets are cut into thin slices or chips to make it easier to pull the sugar out. These slices are then soaked in hot water in a process called diffusion, which helps the sugar come out and mix with the water. The liquid that comes out is then filtered to take out the leftover beet pieces and anything else that's not sugar, leaving a sugary liquid behind. The goal of the extraction step is to get as much sugar as possible out of the plants. The more juice you can pull from the cane or beets, the more sugar you can make. How well this works depends on things like how much water is in the plant, how hot the process is, and how good the crushing or soaking methods are. This step is really important because it decides how much sugar you'll get from each batch of plants. After the juice is taken out of the plant, it needs to be cleaned to get rid of anything that could affect the sugar. The first cleaning step is called clarification. In this step, the juice is heated to get rid of extra water. Then, lime, a type of calcium powder, is added to balance the acidity. And sometimes other things like phosphoric acid or carbon dioxide are used to help with cleaning. The lime makes the unwanted stuff, like dirt and proteins, stick together into a thick sludge, which is then removed using filters. What's left is a clean liquid called clarified juice. The next cleaning step is called decantation. In this stage, the clarified juice is left to sit in tanks so any leftover impurities can settle to the bottom. The juice is already pretty clean by now, but it might still have a few things in it that need to be taken out. That's why it's often filtered a few more times, using finer filters to make sure it's as pure as possible. This step helps remove anything that could affect the taste, color, or quality of the sugar, and also makes sure the juice is safe to use. Purifying the juice is very important because anything left in it, like tiny bits of dirt or minerals, can change the color or taste of the final sugar, especially white sugar, which needs to be super clean. Even small amounts of unwanted stuff can make the sugar look off or taste weird. That's why the steps like clarification and filtering are done carefully, to make sure only clean sugar goes into the next part where it turns into crystals. After the juice is cleaned, it goes into the evaporation stage, where most of the water is taken out to make a thick syrup. This syrup still has some sugar and other things in it, so it needs to be boiled even more to start turning into crystals. Special vacuum pans are used to boil the syrup at a lower pressure, which helps the water evaporate faster. The vacuum also stops the sugar from burning, which could make the sugar taste bad. As the syrup thickens, small sugar crystals begin to form. To help more crystals grow, tiny sugar crystals are added to the syrup. This helps control how big the crystals get. The longer the syrup boils, the larger the crystals will be. This step is important for making the sugar the right texture and purity. The goal is to make sugar crystals that are as clean and even as possible to ensure a high-quality product. After boiling, the syrup is cooled, and the sugar crystals are separated from the leftover liquid called molasses in a process called centrifugation. A spinning machine uses force to separate the sugar from the molasses. The sugar crystals are still raw at this stage and need more cleaning, but this is the first step in turning the liquid juice into solid sugar. The crystallization process is an important step in making sugar because it decides how big and pure the sugar crystals will be. After boiling, the syrup is moved into crystallizers, where it cools slowly so bigger crystals can form. The process is carefully controlled to make sure the crystals grow evenly and reach the right size. The longer the syrup cools, the bigger the crystals get, and the more efficient the process becomes. Once the crystals are the right size, they are separated from the leftover syrup using centrifugation. This process spins the mixture quickly to push the syrup to the outside of the drum, leaving the sugar crystals behind. The result is raw sugar, which still has some molasses in it and needs more processing to become the white, refined sugar most people use. Crystallization is important because it changes sugar from a liquid to a solid. The size and purity of the crystals affect how good the final sugar will be. Good crystallization makes sure the sugar is clean, free from impurities, and ready for the next step. Without proper crystallization, the sugar wouldn't meet food standards, and less sugar would be produced. After crystallization, the sugar is still wet and needs to be dried to stop it from clumping and to make it easier to handle. This is done by putting the raw sugar crystals in big dryers that use hot air to remove the moisture. The sugar is stirred and turned in the dryer to make sure all the crystals dry evenly. The perfect moisture level for sugar is about 0.1%, and this needs to be carefully watched during drying to keep the sugar free-flowing and prevent it from soaking up moisture from the air. The drying process also makes sure the sugar won't spoil or clump while it's stored. Too much moisture can cause the sugar to stick together and form lumps, making it hard to package and use. Too little moisture can make the sugar break easily and lose some of its texture and sweetness. The goal is to remove just the right amount of moisture to keep the sugar stable without making it taste bad. After the sugar is dried, it's cooled before being packaged. This helps stop the sugar from taking in moisture from the air while it cools. Drying is an important step in getting the sugar ready, making sure it's stable, easy to store, and ready to move on to the next stage, refining. Not all sugars are refined the same way. Raw sugar, which still has molasses, is usually light brown and has a small molasses taste. To make white sugar, the most common type, the raw sugar has to go through extra steps to clean it and make it into crystals. This process is called refining, and it includes washing the raw sugar crystals with water or a special solution to remove the rest of the molasses. After washing, the raw sugar goes through filters made of activated carbon or bone char to clean it even more by removing color and other impurities. These filters help get rid of any leftover molasses, which could change the sugar's color and taste. The sugar is then turned into crystals again, and any remaining impurities are removed. The refining process makes sure the final sugar is as pure as possible, without any molasses or other things that could affect its taste, texture, or look. Sugar is refined because white sugar is preferred in baking, cooking, and food production for its mild taste, smooth texture, and white color. Removing molasses also gets rid of any bitterness or strong flavors that raw sugar may have. The refining process makes the sugar perfect for many uses, from sweetening drinks to being an ingredient in packaged foods. Once the sugar is refined, it's ready to be packaged for sale. Packaging is important to keep the sugar fresh and safe from dirt. The sugar is measured and weighed before being put into packages of different sizes, depending on the market, from small packets for people to big sacks for factories. The packaging is chosen to protect the sugar from moisture, air, and pests, which can lower its quality. For retail packaging, sugar is usually sealed in plastic or paper bags that keep it dry and clean. The packaging also has labels showing the sugar's grade, ingredients, nutrition info, and where it came from. The goal is to make sure the sugar stays safe, easy to store, and easy to transport without losing quality. Packaging not only protects the sugar, but also helps with branding and marketing. The design of the packaging can influence how customers see the product. Whether it's a simple clear bag or a more stylish box, packaging is a way to catch buyers' attention and tell them about the product inside. Sugar is popular because it's flexible and improves the taste of both sweet and savory foods. Whether in coffee, baked goods, or drinks, sugar helps bring out the best flavors. Its easy use, long shelf life, and wide range of uses in cooking, baking, and food production have made it a key product in homes and businesses everywhere. Plus, its ability to mix well with many ingredients has made it a must-have in kitchens. The sugar industry has stayed strong because of the efficient ways it's made and refined. From harvesting sugarcane and sugar beets carefully to the controlled refining and packaging, each step ensures a high-quality product. This consistency has helped sugar stay a top choice for home cooks and big food companies. Also, improvements in packaging have kept sugar fresh and easy to store, making it even more popular. Sugar is popular because it's affordable and easy to find. Since it can be mass-produced and shipped worldwide, sugar is available to people of all budgets. Its ability to be used in many ways, from personal use to large businesses, has helped it stay popular over time. With its simple, reliable nature and its ability to meet global demand, sugar remains a beloved ingredient that's still useful today. So what do you think? Are you a fan of sugar? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it out, some of these other Process Powerhouse videos. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Your thumb gets a workout, and we get the love. And if you haven't subscribed to the Process Powerhouse channel yet, seriously, what are you waiting for? A VIP invitation. Come on, hit that button. Got a factory process you're curious about? Drop it in the comments. We might just make it happen. No promises on a conveyor belt cameo, though.